Hello, folks. I'm back. So, I was excited that I finished all my card art and added it to the game. But then when I started playtesting, it really bogged down the system and stuttered, froze. Well, it didn't freeze, but it was slow and choppy. And so I asked the chatbots. The only things that I added recently, before all of this stuttering and slowness and choppiness happened, were the textures and the materials and the material instances and the blueprint actors for only for the cards. And so all the AI chatbots were unanimous in saying that it's because of those that is why, um, you know, your playtesting is all laggy and choppy. And they were saying that, it's because, in my data table, I put all of the textures and the materials in there and the blueprints in there. And what happens is whenever the game loads, it always calls it. And it always references it. Well, not, yeah, it references it, but not only does it reference it, but it loads it at the beginning. And so every time I start playing the game, play testing the game, even though I'm still in the spawn area, the seeker is still in the spawn area, the game is laggy and slow, and it feels like something is loading in the background because the game itself is taking a while to render, and those are the symptoms that I gave to the AI chatbots, and it was sure enough it was the textures. I don't know for sure, but that's what they said it's most likely to be, and so um, they recommended a whole bunch of things. So I need to change my material instances from hard references to soft references in this way that they can be referenced, but they don't get loaded right away. So in the case of my cosmic cards, there are 78. So it loads all 78 cards at the beginning of the game. And that really bogs down not just the system memory, but the graphics memory, the GPU memory. And so that is why I was experiencing this, because I forgot to mention that before I added all of these cards, the game ran so smoothly. It was extremely smooth. So what the heck? Why this big change? And it's because I did not properly optimize, everything first. So right now I am going to do some what they call texture prep. Um, so if you've seen my previous videos, you've seen that I've already created these artwork and all, and converted them into PNG format images, and then uploaded them into Unreal as textures. But what I forgot to do is make sure that they are properly um, prepared first. You got to prepare your textures before you upload them, and then when they are uploaded into Unreal, then you gotta do even you can't just save them and start using them. You have to, the second that you put any kind of texture into your game, whether it's for your loot system or your card system or your walls and floors and stairs, you have to open up their textures and set them up properly. So what I'm going to do for my cards is I'm going to do some of that right now. Let me see. So this is some of the stuff that I tried to work on earlier. So we actually want it this way so that the dimensions and the proportions are correct. But what I did was I stretched it out, and they said that's not good. I mean, it'll still work, but this is not what we actually want. We want to keep them in this original dimensions and proportions, and you can't see it because it's black, but um, change the canvas size or the image size to a power of 2. So when preparing your textures, make sure you're using a power of 2. So for example, things like 512 by 512, 1024 by 1024, 2048 by 2048, or 4096 by 4096. But in my case, because my cosmic cards are, I want them to be tall and slender like this, like a playing card. It just so happened that the original image size is 500 by 800. So the AI chatbot suggested, well, then it's easy. You can just change this into a power of 2 texture by converting this 500 down here and up here to 512 and converting the sides instead of 800 to 1024. And when you do that and you stretch out the image, it looks like this. So what they said is not to do that. You just keep the 512 by 1024 and you keep the original image as 500 by 800, because it turns out in Unreal Engine this is way more efficient than just using the original 500 by 800 textures that I uploaded already into the game. And that is why it was causing so much texture streaming pool, over limit, and whenever I was playtesting, it wouldn't even load the textures into the game fast enough. So I'd always see checkerboards whenever, as a seeker running through the rifts, coming up into the cards, the card would just, the card backs would be fine, but the card faces like this would be checkerboards because they just wouldn't load. And so now I have to go back and prepare the textures. So in this case, I've already done these. As you can see there, you can't see it, but it's you want the rest of the 512 by 1024 to be transparent, and so in this case it's black, just like the rest of the image viewing software that I'm using right now. And so, but the original image is still its original size, which is, I don't know, it could be 495 by 700. Some of them are different, but regardless of the original art size, you want the actual image size of the image or the canvas size to be a power of 2, which is in my case 512 by 1024. But also, you could do 512 by 512 or 1024 by 1024. So, and since these are cards, they're not going to be huge, humongous billboards that the seeker is going to be looking at. So they're going to be tiny objects like floating cards in the 3D world. So they don't have to be, humongous resolutions. They can just be tiny resolutions like 512 by 512. But in my case, since these cards were 500 by 800, it's better that I just go with 1024 by 1024. But this specific case is already, it lends perfectly to just being 512 by 1024. So what I'm going to do is simply go back to GIMP and work on those 3 cards that I stretched, which I shouldn't have done, but I didn't know that before I spoke to the AI chatbots. So I'm going to go back and open those up and redo those here. Uh-oh, cannot do it anymore. Unsupported feature, unsupported image type. You have got to be kidding me. Oh, yeah, because I'm opening the wrong one. So, this is the one that I want to open. Alright, so what I need to do is recreate the file. This is what I wanted. So I'm just going to export as, go back to my rare folder, go back to the full rare cyan, and export it, and just replace it. and export. And then I have to fix it later. Let me select none. Alright, you could close that one. Discard the changes, don't need to save anything. Go back to my other project, the magician. Change that back to rare. There we go. And the magician. Okay. Export as the magician rare cyan. Ping PNG. Replace, yes. Export, yes. Close it, all done. Discard the changes. Now open the High Priestess. There's another one that I stretched, and that should be the last one. I don't need to change the Empress and anything like the Emperor and anything other than that. So it's just these three. Right. So this is the rare edition of the card. Export this. Go into the rare folder. Replace the. Is it a High Priest? Yes. Export, replace, and export the High Priestess rare cyan. And that's it. We will now. Do we need to open anything else in? Okay, I did not. I don't think I set up the paint, but let me see if I can find it. Apparently, I did not set up paint, huh? Well, no, I think I did, but I deleted it. So let me try to see if I can set it up again. Paint. MS Paint. Is that right? MS Paint. Something about that doesn't look right. Okay. Now that looks right. Alright. Okay, so you can't see this yet because I'm trying to set it up. Alright. So hopefully this is good now. Alright, I hope this will work. So let me transition. There we go. And those files that I just had open in GIMP. Let me close GIMP. I do not need to change this. Alright, so now that I'm in GIMP, we can. Alright, so I opened those images that I just remade. Right. I zoom in. And I get rid of this. And save. Alright. So there goes. It's back to normal. Or back to how I wanted it to be. How it is uploaded into the game right now. Before I stretched it. But you can see at the bottom, the image is not a power of 2. It's actually 468 by 803. So I need to change this to 512 by 1024. So let me go ahead and do that. Not yet. Let me do the rest of the images first that I just got rare. Okay, so there's the magician. Zoom in, scroll down, move up, up, zoom out, and save. Okay. And the last but not least, the high priestess. Zoom in, scroll down, move up, zoom out, and save. Okay, so now that I got all of those, let me show you what the AI chatbots recommended. That is GIMP. Not GIMP. This tool, this command line tool called Image Magic. So now, all of the 78 cards that I just showed you in my image viewer are right here. Okay, let me go back. Let me try this again. Do 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 do. I really don't. Okay, there we go. Let me go up and see the full. That one I just created right now, or adjusted right now, 313 on March 1st. The Magician. And look at the sizes of these, almost 1 megabyte. Can you imagine loading all 78 of these cards? That would be like, almost 78 megabytes times the epic purples and the legendary golds. That's going to be a lot of files, a lot of textures to add into memory. So that would definitely bog down anyone's system. Okay, and then so around February 21 is when I worked on the rest of these. Okay, so now that I've got all of these, I created this here folder, and I am going to go ahead and let me see, Control A. Select all. All right. So now let me try it one more time. Whoops, where am I? Where did I go? Get back to the command line interface. And, okay, so this is what they told me to type in. So after I installed the image magic, then you move a copy of the magic executable into the folder with all your textures, the card textures in my case. And then you type in magic, mogrify, dash path, quote unquote resized, dash gravity center to center it, and then dash extent 512 by 1024 to resize it to the power of 2 numbers, in this case 512 by 1024, and then dash background, make the background transparent, because obviously the original images will keep their original size, but the canvas will be bigger, which is 512 by 1024, and so when you center it, you're going to be padded with some empty gaps. So you want to turn that background, those empty gaps, transparent or invisible. And then star.ping tells it to do this one operation on all of the .ping PNG files. So all of this here. So let's go ahead and type. Just hit enter. And we gotta wait a couple minutes or less until the prompt comes back, until an actual command line comes back. Not this prompt here, this blinking stuff. So it's actually faster. This is, okay, now it's done. So now let me try it again, and okay, so these are the originals here. As you can see, the dates are still that. So right now it's 320. Let's move into the resized folder and show the directory again. And now you can see just a minute ago I finished converting all of these. So again, they're still the same size, so it'll be huge in memory. But there are other methods to take care of that problem of all of these sizes, all of these textures with their humongous sizes added to the memory. So again, since in my game, the seeker is only ever going to see 6 random of these 78 cards, there is no need to load all 78 cards. So by just loading the 6, it significantly reduces the lag and choppiness and the stuttering. So there we go. Now let me go ahead and check again with the let me see. Let's see. Does I have to turn this on? Transition. Okay, now as you can see, it's not stretched anymore. So for one thing, I went into GIMP and I remade it, and then I saved it to the folder, and I put image magic in that folder, and then I did that command line interface thing, and then it created this one. So now if I go down, they all have the padding and they keep their original size, but they also keep the 512 by 1024 power of 2 texture size, which is perfect for GPU, the way that GPU hardware works, as well as the way that the Unreal Engine works. It works way better this way rather than dividing and ending up with fractional numbers. These powers of 2, 512, 1024, they divide very nicely and work very nicely in Unreal Engine and the GPU hardware. Alright, so this alone should help. Anyways, that's what the AI chatbot said, with making the game less choppy, stuttery, and laggy, and preventing bugs where when the seeker runs up to a card in game, you, instead of getting the card face of the justice like this, it's just a gray checkerboard. Okay, so we don't want that. So if we don't want that, we have to always prepare the textures. Every texture they said that you ever put into your game must first be prepared. Don't just automatically start using it in your game. So now that I got these, and then I got the card back as well. So these are all the rares, and this is the rare card back. This is how the rare faces will look, card faces will look like. And this is the card back. Okay, the rare card back. So now that that is done, I can do the epics, and I can do the legendaries after the epics. So let me move that if I can find it. Where did you go, my friend? Oh, here we go. Okay, so I need to move. You can't see this, but I'm in my directory that I put all my rare textures in. Now I'm going to remove the image magic command line interface tool and move it to my epic folder. Alright, now it's there. Okay, so back to the command line. Let me go ahead and move there. I don't remember too much about this. Okay, so we went back and one more back. And then we changed directory to the epic. Alright, perfect. So now you can see all of these were done. I added the resize folder earlier today. But all of the, like the epic card back and all the rest of the card faces were done around February 22. Okay, but they're all done. So now all I need to do now is do that. Where is it? There we go. Did we just do this command again? Magic, Mogrify, path resized. Gravity, move it all to the center. The extent of the image, 512. This is a power of 2 that we need. So 512 by 1024. And then make sure that the background is transparent. And do it for all of these textures here. So let me show you really quick before we do that. We're going to open GIMP again. And then we're going to move back to GIMP. I am going to open the originals, the original art that we created, February 21 and February 22. All right, so let me go ahead and open a random one. And it's here. Darn it, you can't see, but the size of this image is 468 by 802. Where can I display that? It's up here. It's tiny, but you can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it. Never mind. Moving on. I was just gonna show you that the original image size is not a power of 2. And then I was going to open the resized ones. So let's go pick the chariot again. And we gotta always convert. And now this is the new size. You see now this whole thing here is 512 by 1024. And then the original image keeps its original 500 by 800 dimensions so that it doesn't look stretched. And we want that because, and make sure that the background here, the checkerboard, is transparent with an alpha channel. And we want that so that in the future, if we ever want to add, like, if I want to add eldritch tendrils or something, or other special effects around the card, then I can do that. All right. Other than the one where I stretched it, and then you can't do any of that extra stuff. You're just going to have a stretched image. So I was like, forget it. I'm going to move everything back to this and then convert it to this 512 by 1024. A power of 2 texture. All right, so back to, I don't need these open. Let me, go back to the command line interface. And then I will go ahead. Where is it? Here it is. And I will just hit enter because it should do the same exact thing that it did for the rares now for the epics. So hit enter. And it should resize everything and throw it into the resized folder. And it just takes a couple of, it's supposed to be less than a minute. So just wait a couple more seconds. And it should convert all of these 7880. Okay, here we go. So now we go change directory into the resized folder. And then we show the directory. And as you can see, 3:30 p.m. it just converted all of these. All right. Unfortunately, it doesn't show that it's 512 bytes. I'm just going to check it on my own because, well, I guess GIMP can't show it to you because I don't have the system set up that way. Because the last time I did that, it didn't work properly, where it shows you the whole entire desktop, the whole entire computer screen. And it shows you all the dialog pop-ups, all the tooltips and the right clicks and everything, and your desktop and everything. But when I did that, it really bogged down the stream and the internet and my system in general. So I can't set it up that way. So I have to do it individual windows and then just switch between them. Unfortunately, when you do that, you do not get any of their dialog pop-ups, their right-click tooltips, or any of that kind of drop-down menus. Alright, so heading back. Now I shall change into the legendary folder. Okay, so these ones, I just want to make sure everything is there from 0, the full, make sure I don't have anything. They're all roughly the same size, between 600 and 700 kilobytes. Go back and look for that. There we go. This prompt here. Go ahead and let me see. Let's first go into the resized folder. And there shouldn't be anything in here. Yeah, there's nothing. So let me move back. And then we run this command, this magic command. Hit enter. And within less than a minute, Image Magic should convert all of these non-power of 2 textures up here into power of 2 textures, which is way more efficient and optimized for uploading into Unreal Engine and being utilized with GPU hardware acceleration and for video VRAM memory, GPU memory. Alright, so moving back into resized. Let's see now. Let's see, 3:30 p.m. We just completed this today, March 1st. And so it's all here. All rares, epics, and legendaries. Alright. So we got that done. Now, what I need to do is re-import, not import, because remember a couple of days ago when I already added all of these textures to the game, so they've already been imported. Now I need to re-import them with these new power of 2 textures right here. They're using the same exact names, so when you re-import them, they will just take the names and all of the information, which it should be power of 2. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me open up Unreal Engine, transfer to that. Open up some samples to show you right here. Let's do the rares. If I open the full, oh, I already did this one in a stretched one, so this is a bad example. I'm going to delete it and overwrite it. Oh, re-import over it anyways. So let's go with the Emperor. Here we go. So all of the textures, other than the ones that I stretched, and the AI chatbot says don't stretch them, so I redid them. So all of them were around, 400 by 800, which is not a power of 2. So they need to be that. So when it says here imported and displayed, it needs to say 512 by 1024, or 512 by 512, or 1024 by 1024, or 2048 by 20, whatever power of 2, because whenever they divide it, like 512 goes into 256, 256 goes into 120, I don't know, and it divides really nicely, and the engine already works with those specific numbers, those powers of 2s, and so it is way more efficient, and it prevents the system from causing and flagging the memory the over limits in the streaming pool, and blocking the image from loading, and just defaulting to the gray checkerboard image and stuff like that. So doing it this way, I mean, not the stretch way that I'm not supposed to do, but at least converting it to a power of 2 image size or canvas size is already on its own supposed to be the most efficient way to do it. And that is one of the ways to prepare. So now that we got what? No, sorry, my bad. So they're here. So now I don't know if I can do it this way. No, I don't think I can. What I need to do is, let me see if I can import. To tell you the truth, I don't know. Let me see. Can I import it this way? Re-import with new file. And then I go to my resized folder. Right? Let me click on it. There we go. Now you can see it is 512 by 512, 1024 by 1024. The resource size is 512, and you can see the transparent padding is which is what we want. Anyways, that's what the AI chatbot. Even though it looks weird, they said that whenever these are placed onto the 3D texture, into like a 3D cosmic card into the 3D world, the game will not take any of the transparency, and it will fit this exactly to the size of the card. So it won't look like a shrinked image with some invisible padding around it. It'll look correct. It'll look like it fully fits onto the card. And it will just discard all of this transparency. But we want the transparency because in the future we can add so many things like rarity, glow, cosmic filament effects, or lights and sparkles, or the eldritch tendrils. Okay, so again, I just imported it, right? So even though I had prepared the textures before as 512 by 1024 power of 2, still they do not want you to use it. You have to mess with these settings. So in my case, let me go check what the AI chatbot says. They want to make sure, since again this is not like a humongous 4096 billboard image. It's just like a tiny image for a card. It does not need to be world. I mean, you can keep it as world, but you could just put it as UI. And if you look at the resource size and stuff, it might change. See, if you keep it as world, which again is fine, the resource size is much heavier, it's much bigger. But if you just simply change it to UI, then the resource size becomes smaller, which is good for memory, right? And to prevent the stuttering and lagginess and choppiness of these cards loading into memory while you're trying to play the game, while you're still loading into the game, I should say. Alright, so from texture group or simple average, which one is smaller? I'm just going to go from texture group. Let me just save that for now. And then make sure this is unchecked. They don't want you to, these textures to be never streamed. They need to be, they need the game engine to stream these textures themselves. Not to be controlled by, whatever. So keep that unchecked. Compression settings, in my case, because of these cards, using, it turns out that BC7 compressed is perfect for working with these alpha channels. Also BC7. So another thing is, you can't see the drop down menu, but let me see if I can find it. No, well, unfortunately it's not here. Huh. So another thing I forgot to mention is that if GIMP asks you for a color profile after you changed everything in ImageMagick or whatever, BIMP plugin or whatever, to make sure you keep the sRGB color profile. So, and in this case, let me see. Here we go. So here it is, sRGB. Make sure it's checked. Okay. So that's another thing you check before using your textures in the game. Right after you import it into the game, you gotta make sure you check it. Availability, GPU is very good. Padding and resizing, power of 2, pad to power of 2. I mean, it's already padded to power of 2, but stretch to square power, no, pad to power of 2. What was it before? None. So pad to power of 2, padding color. I don't know if we really need to, because I already did it. When you prepare the textures outside of the game, outside of the editor, in my case, not in GIMP, but in ImageMagick, it already converted it to a power of 2. But let's just set it anyways. I don't know if it'll affect anything. But pad with border color. Let me see border color. No, don't want that. Anything else? Use improve image processing. No. Filter. I don't know. I think I seen trilinear, but I don't want to mess with that. Just say default. From texture group. MIP load options. All maps or only first MIP? Let me see. One other thing they said, you can use no MIP maps. Let me see. If I change it, what does it? Oh, okay. It doesn't do. It doesn't mess with the resource size or anything like that. Supports alpha, true. Method not stream, that's what you want. You don't want it. You don't want never stream. Number of MIPS, only one so far, which is 512 by 1024, but that's fine. I guess it'll generate them on their own some more. I don't know, the rest of them. Whereas, let's see, when you use world, they generate 11 MIPS. So, oh well. I will just, I'll just use the one. Because again, it's just an image for a card in a game. It's not like a big old IMAX theater image that you want to display for the seeker or a billboard on the screen. So they don't need all that detail. They don't need all those MIPS. What else did they say to do for preparing textures, texture preparation? So now that, from a GPU texture streaming and performance standpoint. All right, I gotta drink water. All right, so now that I've converted these to 51224, which is a power of 2 texture now well, specifically ChatGPT, well, they all said this, but I'm just reading from ChatGPT right now. From a GPU texture streaming and performance standpoint, all these textures now are power of 2, MIP compatible with all of these MIPs. I only have the one MIP. Streamable, so they should not be flagging the texture streaming error message on the screen anymore, hopefully. And they will be cache aligned. So they will generate clean MIP maps, these things, not trigger the texture streaming pool bloat error on screen. They will not cause fractional MIP allocations like, oh, did I close it? Hey, let me save this. Save. Let me open one of the other examples. So when you divide this for, this is a bad example, but let me see if I can open another one. So when you divide 803 by 2, that becomes some fractional number. And so this is not what the engines are optimized for or efficient with. So by converting it to this kind of power of 2 number, now it does not cause fractional MIP allocation. Asynchronous loading is applied correctly now, and it will behave exactly like your future padded cards. Okay, performance-wise, they are now correct, quote-unquote, correct textures. Not like these, they look perfectly fine and stuff like that, and they run fine, but when you actually start running them in the game, they start like not showing up, they don't load, they bog down the system, so on and so forth, because they're all kinds of wrong. So you can still do it if you have an extremely powerful system, but I'm trying to create my video game for my own backup computer, which is an old 2015 computer that I built in 2015. So it's over like 10 years ago. The only thing that has changed now is, okay, I don't need to read that part. This is an apartment, and so now these in 512 by 1020 of the correct texture, where it should have these padding and stuff. Now, it won't break asynchronous loading. Again, we need asynchronous loading. This is part of of optimizing these textures because, like I said at the beginning, when I play tested the game, after I added all of these textures, material instances, blueprint actors for each and every unique card, it really slowed and bogged down my system. And it felt like something was loading in the background, preventing the game that I was playing from, rendering fully. And it was because I did not prepare the textures, I did not include asynchronous loading, meaning every one of these 78 files were being loaded, not just referenced, but they were being loaded into the game, which is poor design. It's bad game developing because, I mean, you're only going to see 6 of them. The game's only randomly picks 6 of these cards. So then why are you loading all 78 of them? Plus their epics, plus their legendaries. And so this, doing it this way increases the VRAM usage. But when you convert them like this and you use asynchronous loading instead of synchronous loading, so pretty much synchronous loading loads everything, every single thing that anything is referenced in the game, like this. Even just to cache it, you still loaded every single one of the 78 cards into the game to cache it. And now it's being loaded fully into the game. And that is inefficient, poor game design, bad game developing. Right? So if you only want the 6, then instead of using synchronous loading, you want to use async loading, is what the AI chatbots told me. Alright, so, and with the power of 2, and with converting these into, because right now these are hard referencing, you want it to be soft referencing. So in my case, I simply switch it to soft object reference, which is this cyan colored thing. Cyan color instead of this blue color, which is hard reference. Hard referencing means it's going to load every single thing that you referenced in the game at the very beginning of the game. And this is why it felt like things were loading when I was playing the playtesting. It's like, can I play the game? What's going on in the background? And it's trying to load all of these blueprints, all of these materials, all of these textures, all of these material instances, because I have it set as hard reference. Again, here, hard reference. So the best way to do it is to soft reference them and only load them when you need them, like the 6 random cards that are chosen. And that's it. Alright, so let me go ahead and just put that back for now. I'm not working on that right now. I'm working on these. Alright, so let me see. This is really bad because I don't remember. Move to another AI chatbot. See what they say. I didn't want to stream for long. I just want to document my power of 2 textures process and then log back out because I'm still sort of sick. I thought I was over it, but it's one of those sickness that if you don't really fully get rid of it, then the slightest cold or the wrong, like eating sugar or something, will just make that, that bacteria grow again like a petri dish in your throat. And then you just get sick all over again. And so it's like a strep throat or something. Anyways, when you import these images, or PNGs, Okay, here we go. So 2D pixels, texture group. UI. So I already picked UI. Compression settings. Where is compression settings? Right here. Oh yeah. So user interface 2D RGBA preserves the alpha perfectly. But in my case, for some reason, it's not in here. I can't find it. I can't find user interface 2D. So I'm just going to use what they said is next best is BC7 compressed, because high quality compressed texture, same size as BC3. But this one too works very efficiently with power of 2 as well as with this alpha channel transparent padding. So it works perfectly with that. So BC7 compression and MIP gen settings right here. So from texture group or simple average. I'll just go with from texture group. sRGB, make sure it is checked. This is crucial. Tells UE5 to treat it as sRGB, matching your conversion. Okay, where? Where did it go? It's here somewhere. I know it. I suppose you can put color space because that's pretty much what the sRGB is. Encoding override, but I don't want to mess with the source color coding right now. Color settings. I just want to make sure. Oh, here it is. It's already up here and checked. Availability, GPU. Whether the texture will be encoded to a GPU format and uploaded to the graphics card. Yeah. Yeah, we want this to the graphics card because the seeker is not going to be using your blueprints. This CPU is good for the editor, but when you playtest it or you upload the actual finish package project to the public, you want it to run on their GPU. It's much more efficient because the CPU is going to be busy doing other things like maybe audio or anything else, everything else. The CPU does everything else. The GPU is the one that should be doing all the graphical stuff. So it's good just to put this to GPU. What else? Power of 2 mode. I think I did that already. Yeah. Padding and resizing, pad to power of 2. And then that's it. Now I can start using this texture in my game. So quick test after import. Assign one to your master material. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm going to do that in a bit, but I don't know if I'm going to do that today. But another thing the AI chatbot said was use one. You see, if you go into my materials folder, you see I have materials for every single one. Oh, you see, it's not some of the materials don't even load. They give you the checkerboard, and that's probably why it wasn't showing up properly in my game, because they just were not properly prepared before uploading. But yeah, it turns out I don't need all of these anymore. I only need one, a master material. And from that master material, I can reference all of this information from that I put into the data table about the cards. So I can tell it what rarity the card is. I can tell it what which card it is, and then it will just change the material. Also, I don't need all of these blueprints anymore, which also bogs down. Not only does all of these materials and material instances and blueprints for each and every single one of the 78 unique cards cause inefficiencies in-game, but they bloat the size of the game that the seeker has to download into, not just, from itch.io or Gumroad or whatever, but whenever they start the game, it has to go from the hard drive, from their hard drive into their memory system, like their CPU or their VRAM, their GPU memory. And now, by using the one blueprint and the one master material, I can get rid of all of this, and it does not have to load into the seeker's memory and all that. So it makes it way more efficient. Okay, but let me get everything working first in this new method, before I start deleting stuff, because otherwise I'm gonna have to fall back to it and keep these. But let me see. Moving over here, these I can change those later. So let me see. I got that. Alright, so I did the one, but let me see if I can, should be a way. I don't know. But I think I did it before and it worked, so. Oh, forgot I changed these. Now I have to refresh it, reconnect it, recompile, and then save. Alright, so back again to the textures folder. So again, I shouldn't need all these materials. I just need one material, and I shouldn't need all these blueprints for the meshes, for the cards. I just need the one. Should only need this one cosmic card, and that's it. And for the material, just one. I don't even need a separate rarity edge color. I don't need just one material to handle all three of these elements. Will be able to show me the card back here, the card face here, and the rarity color here, instead of having separate materials and material instances like this. Anyways, back. What in the heck? Why? I'm just going to recompile it anyways. I don't think I changed anything, so why? Okay, going back to the actual textures. Let me see. Can I re-import? So there are 79 items. Let me go back to the folder that I just created all of those. I am in cards 03 rare. So let me move into here, the resize folder for the rares. Select. How do I select? Control A. Control A. Something is wrong. From 0 to 78. Oh no, that's correct. Okay. So that 0 to 78 is 79. So it should be here. Let me see. Control A, open. This import will override asset. Do you want to convert this import to a re-import? Yes. 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 Apparently I have to do it one by one. So I'm just going to click on yes for everything. And hopefully that will work because I don't want these textures anyways, even if it doesn't work. I want the ones I'm trying to import. So let me just click on yes and see if it works or not. It should, but we'll see in a bit after I click on. You can't see me clicking on the all 78 dialog boxes. But I'm clicking yes, yes. Do you want to convert this import to a re-import? Yes. You want to convert this import? Yes. Just keep going and going until finally all of them are imported. I think there was another way I did this, but I don't. Maybe what I did was I selected all, right-clicked, and then. So I don't know if the way that I'm doing it now is going to work or the way that I just explained even works. But I'm just going to click on these seemingly forever until there are no more cards to re-import. There we go. Oh, and I think it's not working. Yeah, no, it's taking its time. Yeah, it didn't work. Um, oh, wait, maybe it did work. Because there's the padding. Let me go back. Uh, Alright, I messed up. I forgot to. I forgot to save the sRGB information. Never stream. From texture. BC7. sRGB. What else? What else? Power of 2. We don't need it, but pad to power of 2. Alright, now let me see. Okay. Unfortunately, we have to do it that way, so from texture group. Hmm. Well, well, well. Doo -doo -doo. From texture group UI. BC7. Pad to power of 2. GPU sRGB. Alright, save it. Unfortunately, I have to Click on all of them. Well, bum, bum, bum. Yeah. What I forgot to do was in GIMP. I forgot to shoot. You select all. Rare resized. All 79 cards. I needed to change it to perceptual and convert. And make sure you convert so that it keeps the sRGB. Perceptual, convert. Perceptual, convert. Got to do all of this 78 times. Convert, perceptual, convert, perceptual, convert, perceptual, convert, perceptual, convert, perceptual, convert, convert, perceptual, convert, perceptual, convert, 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 convert. And so I don't know if this really sucks because I don't know if it should be showing you on screen that it's converting everything to the sRGB color profile. Yeah, I think it is showing. But I can't see it because there's a big dialog box of it asking me to convert it. So you can't see that part, but you can see the actual images being converted now. You can see the alpha transparency padding around the original image size. And the padding in the bottom left, you can see that it is 512 by 1024. So that's a power of 2 texture preparation right there. And just do this for all 78 of the cards. Then I got to do this for the epics and the legendaries. And do. Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. Maybe there's a way to batch process this, but I don't know. So I just have to click on these one by one. It's taking forever to go through every single one of the 78 cards. And that's just the rare. Then I got to do this for epic and legendary. Should we write maybe 10 more cards or 11 more cards? Convert. Unfortunately, it's going to ask me to do this again if I do not save it. So I have to save it now. So more clicking. So let me see if I close this. No, let me open it back. I am in Cosmic's Rare Resize. That's where I want to be. Open this one back. Keep it. Dun, 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 dun. Apparently you have to export it as rare. Not as rare. You have to export it as a PNG. So this one, this is just for GIMP. I'm going to switch back to Unreal Editor. And I'm going to do all that GIMP stuff later. But for this one, I'll do this one here because, let me see. If I take this and I re-import with new file, the one that I just did, the card back, same thing. So, also another thing, let me see, can I select multiple ones and is there a way to batch change their bulk no, I don't want to bulk export. I want to bulk edit. Is there a bulk edit? No. You have to just open it. Edit selection and property matrix. Okay, sRGB checked. GPU availability, yes. Never stream, turn it off. World textures, default, compression. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I think this might be it. Let me see. How do I, select all, UI, never stream, from texture group, compress without alpha, no. Editor show final encode, compress. BC7, yes. Lossy compensation amount. Leave that alone. Multiple values, compression, cache ID, from texture group. sRGB, yes. Padding, pad to power of 2. Doesn't show up here, but I suppose you can try to make. Level of detail bias. Filter from texture group. Virtual texture stream. Never stream sRGB availability. How do I add? Oh, here we go. This one. Pad to power of 2. sRGB's here already. Availability is there already. Compress. BC set, that's already there. MIP load options. MIP gen settings. So, did I? Interestingly enough, I don't have that. MIP gen settings, here we go. Texture group. Yeah, that's up there already. Never stream is up there already. Global face. Composite. Import. Let's hope that by changing this here, I can batch edit all of these. So let me see. Compression settings. Compressed. Make sure this. MIP load options. Where is it? It should be here somewhere. MIP gen settings from texture group. Path to power of 2 is there. Never stream. GPU availability. Texture group UI. I need this MIP load options. No, it's here somewhere. Pretty sure I use that for. Oh, I guess I don't. So go ahead and remove that one. Padding resizing. Let me go back and check. So we want texture group, compression settings. Let's see, can I change the order of this? MIP gen settings, sRGB, power of 2, never stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe there's more, but I'm just going to do these and save. All right. Okay, so I see how we can do that. Now let's go ahead and do a Control-All, right-click. Where did I see it? Edit selection and property matrix. Oh, dang it! So I gotta remove. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna do this all over. Okay, fine. Remove all but the babu. This. Remove all but this. Okay. Then we want to add oh my god. Then we want to add compression settings. Then we want to add MIP gen settings. Oh gosh, where is it? Not MIP load options. here we go, MIPGen settings. Then we want to add sRGB. sRGB, where are you? Oh, here we are. And availability is GPU. And we want the, where did it go? Padding and resizing. And here, never stream. Alright, so make sure all of those are done. Control A. And we go to the details. All of them should now say from texture group. All of them should now say UI. Please. Okay, there we go. It took a while to change it for all 79 cards. Now compression settings, we change that to, instead of multiple values, that's not it. We change it to BC7. Where are you? Please do not crash on me. Please, I better save this first. Is everything BC7? BC7 compressed. So let me go ahead and save. What else needs to change? Everything is already sRGB. Everything is availability GPU. Padding. Pad to power of 2. Oh no, it crashed. Okay. Pad to power of 2. And everything should be turn off, never stream. So for now, that's it. Now, close all of these. I think that's it. I think that's good. I think that's all I want. I think I'm finished with the rare textures for preparation, texture preparation. And as you can see now, they have their alpha transparent padding. They're not black anymore. So I didn't need to do it in GIMP. I could just do it here in the editor. Okay. Now that is done, select all of these, scroll down. Okay, I must select all, right click, import. There's supposed to be an option to re-import with new file, but for some reason it doesn't. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. You can only do it one by one. That really sucks. Oh my god. I need the resized versions of these. Uh, yeah, guess what? I'm not doing this one. I'm doing it this way. Import the current folder of the resized. I'm just going to click on yes the whole time. Just like I did with the rares. I do it for these epics. Card 03 epic. And I'm losing my voice. This is why I didn't want to, because I don't know why I'm getting sick this way. This is really weird. I never got sick this way. I mean, yes, I did got sick, but not like recently. Just by talking too much into the microphone. It's getting me sick. It's really unfortunate because I want to keep documenting my process of how I'm doing all of this. So it really sucks. I might have to stop soon because I can really feel the sickness growing like a petri dish in my throat. This stinking thing. I drink all the water that I can, and it's not washing it down. It's the reason why the doctors tell you to drink your liquids and to drink clear water is so that it will wash down the gunk that is trying to build up like a petri dish in your throat and in your esophagus and all that kind of stuff. But it's not happening. It seems to have a hold, and it feels like you want to reach inside of your throat and scratch that itch that is growing because your throat feels itchy. It's like strep throat. And then if you let it grow like a petri dish, then you get sick. And no matter what I did, I ate like chicken noodle soup with lemon, drank a lot of water, and still didn't wash down this illness. So now, okay. Now that I'm talking more, I guess it's aerobic type of bacteria, and they like air. So it's probably helping them grow whenever I'm non-stop talking into this microphone. All right. Now I go into asset actions. After selecting all of the re-imported images, textures, go in, right click, under asset actions, go to edit selection and property matrix. And oh gosh, it's not here. I have to redo the whole thing again. So remove everything but this. Oh, and then I gotta add everything back. So let me head back. At least I don't have to really do it one by one. I can just do it here. So I got texture group. Now I gotta look for compression. Oh, you know what? There's a search button. I could just do it this way. Compression. Darn it, that was the wrong one. Here we go. Compression. Settings here. MIP gen settings. MIP gen here. Next. sRGB. I actually don't need to add sRGB because it's all sRGB already. What about Availability. It's all GPU already, so turn that off. Padding. Okay, I need to change that. I don't need MIPGen settings as well because it's already at from texture group. So let me remove that one. Never stream. They're all already off, so unchecked, so I don't need that one. Anyways, that is the last of them all, so that's it. And now I actually changed the settings. Oh, select them all first. And then change the texture group to UI. Save it just in case it feels like it wants to crash on me by trying to change everything. And then convert this one, change this to PC7, compressed. Make sure they're all saying PC7. Yes, PC7. Save. Padding. Pad to power of 2. Oh my gosh. This one is scary. Okay, so it's showing up. Pad to power of 2. Make sure all of them are saying pad to power of 2. And then never stream is all unchecked. And save. And that is it. Everything else from texture group, sRGB, GPU. That's good. All right. Now I can go back. Yes. Now you can see the alpha transparent padding in the background. And awesome. And you can see the original textures, the original dimensions, the correct proportions that I want. All right. All right. Now, to do that for the legendaries, select all. I'm going to do, oh, don't need to select all. You just import from the folder, go back to legendary, resized, select all of those textures. Make sure it's from 00 all the way to 79, card 78 actually. Import, re-import all 78 cards, or 79 cards. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Too bad when you import the whole folder, you can't just say yes to all. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. You can't see me because it clicking on yes on all of the dialog boxes because it's a dialog box. It's a pop-up window. But that's what I'm doing right now. 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. And what this is doing is re-importing all of these in the power of 2 textures, not the old non-power of 2 textures. So it's replacing these old ones right now for the new power of 2 textures that we updated in GIMP. Was it GIMP? I can't. Oh no, it was the image magic. It was the command line that did it. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, and there we go. Okay, with this all selected, right click, go to Asset Actions, Edit Selection and Property Matrix. Over Texture Group, remove all but this. In the pin columns, you, under search, look for compression setting. Okay, pin that. We don't want BC1, BC3, we want BC7. We'll do that later. Alright, next, look for MIP Gen settings. Pin that. Oh, we don't need to pin it because it's all, let me just look at it all. Yeah, they're already correct from texture group. It's either from texture group or simple average, but I'm just going to use from texture group, so take that off. Next, we want everything to be sRGB, so let's see. Is it all checked? Yes. Right, we can unpin it. Availability, is it all GPU? Yes. Unpin that. Next is padding. They are not padded. Next is never stream. It must be unchecked. Everything is unchecked. Yes. Okay. So now we can move down to details. Go to texture group. Oh, first we have to select one and then control all to select everything. Yeah. Now make sure we save before we crash the system. And then texture group, change it to UI. Wait a while, check, make sure to save before it crashes the next time. Then we move down to compression settings, change it all to BC7 compressed. Wait a while. Sit and wait a while. Check all of them, BC7. Good, save before we crash the system. And then padding, to change it to pad, oh gosh, pad to power of 2. And check, every single card is pad to power of 2. Save before we crash. And that is it, my friends. We've done it all. All the rares, all 78 rare cards, or 79 I should say, all 79 because it includes the card faces and the one card back. All 79 rare cards, all 79 epic cards, and now all 79 legendary gold cards. Nice. Then if we look back, now we can see they have their padding in the background. Their alpha transparent padding. Nice. Also, if we click on them again, they're all converted to power of 2, 512 by 1024. So that's even better. Alright, now what else do we need to do? After we get everything power of 2, we re-import that, and then we change all their settings, texture settings to, to prepare the textures for asynchronous loading and for soft referencing and for power of 2 map generations and all that kind of stuff. So now they should be good. They should be the quote unquote, as the AI chatbots say, the quote unquote correct textures. Okay? So, let me select nothing. What's going on? Alright, there we go. Okay. So now, if I can save, if I go back, I wonder if this. I think it still should show that it's not. It's great. Yeah, it's checkerboard because if I look back, it was. I don't, is it using the updated? Yes, it is. Okay, let me open this here. So, as an example, I opened up the levers, clicked on the texture sample, and it turns out it is using the correct, the quote-unquote correct texture, the levers. Right? But luckily, I do not need that anymore. So let me go ahead and these placeholder cards, as cool as they are, I don't need them anymore. I can delete them. But before I delete them, I want to make sure that I delete other stuff that I think uses them still. So like this here, I think. Oh, here's an example of how the cards look. Let's see. With their new... Oh, okay. So they do have that... they're using the correct power of 2. And they're using the correct image size. So now what we actually need to do is go into the material itself. Again, it shouldn't be 3 separate materials. It should be one material for everything. For the card faces, the card backs, and the card edges. In fact, the card edges don't need its own material. You can just use a color code data to change within the material, or change it somewhere. I think it is the material. So yeah, you still need this element too, and you still need it to be the master material. But the master material will just, instead of calling on a texture like this one, oops, what's going on? My system seems to have crashed. Uh-oh. Am I still... Am I still... It looks like I'm still streaming. It's just... I think it's just... Unreal Engine is going to crash, you guys. Yep, it crashed. I don't know what you can see on screen. Looks like GIMP. Bum, bum, bum. But at least we saved everything before it crashed. It's reloading. I guess I accidentally clicked it to reload. Well, what do we get? Open this back up. We move back to the... we're open, no. See if we... dun, dun, dun. Crashed. And now... Uh-oh. I wonder what happened here. It crashed, and now these. And let's move to seeker. Hmm. So something in here. These are being used, and I don't need them anymore. So let me break, remove, delete, delete this. I don't need blueprint Cardo 2, and it's custom events, and I don't need this. It's just a copy of that. Don't know why I did it separately when you can just connect it this way, I think. Let me see, let me try it. Yes. So I didn't even need to duplicate these two sets of blueprints. Even it, because they were just going to go to the same result anyway, so let me go ahead and delete these. Let me go ahead and compile. So I only need the one master blueprint, the Cosmic Card, BP Cosmic Card. And from that, I only will need one master material. I don't think I've created that yet, so let me look for anything else to delete first. Okay. I think that is it. Now if I go back and I try to delete it, it may tell me what is still referencing this, but if not, I can just delete it. Memory references, 3 references, asset reference. Excuse me, why is BP Cardo to... Oh, okay. Yeah, I know why. Assets referencing the pending deleted assets. Let me just look at it. No, I don't know why. should not be. It should not be referencing this. Is it in here? It's referencing it. Where is it being referenced? Where? PP Seeker. To tell the truth, I don't know. I don't know. So let me delete this one first. Let me see. There are references in the undo histories. Some of the assets being deleted are still referenced in memory. That's fine. Memory is fine. Replace it with... No, I don't want to replace it. BP card. Where is this? Where is this BP card? Where? BP card. Where is BP card? What if I... Okay, let me look at it again. Delete. There are some non-displayable references. Game, LV, UI, BP card. Where is this BP card? If I look in here, empty folders, developer content maybe? No. Localized content. Should be here somewhere, but I don't see it. LV, UI. Okay, I'm try it one more time. Delete. Game. LV, UI, BP card. Where's the game folder? Game. Is there a game folder? Game. Don't know. Let me go back to the card. Go back to this and click on this. It's LV mesh card. Mesh card. But it's a static mesh. It's not a blueprint. Name. All right. Okay. Forget it. Just delete it. As nothing. Just delete it. All right. So here's my one master blueprint for the cosmic card. This is it. Don't need 78. So let me go into mesh. Go into here. Select all. Ah. Then we can delete. So hopefully it reduces the size of the actual game files. Oh, it's being referenced in card data, so let me do that first, actually. Card data. How should I do this? What will we call this? Soft object reference. Not just to anything. This will be a texture. 2D soft object reference. We'll call this texture 2D soft object reference. Texture 2D soft object reference. We'll call this one icon image. Alright, I just messed up. We don't need to do that. Icon image is... Actually, no, yeah. That's, yeah, we do. Card name. Texture. Card face. Card back. don't need the rarity rate. We can have the rarity rate some other way. Actually, no. It would be nice to have the rarity rate with the float. Instead of weight, we'll just call it rarity color. Okay, never mind. We call it rarity rate. Add the other one. Call it the okay, we don't really need a card edge. We can just make the edge a color instead of a texture of a color. It'll just be a color data. Alright. And this can be texture 2D soft object reference. Oh, was it already? Okay, I'm not paying attention. Alright, so card face, card back, card edge. Definitely changes this, but at least it doesn't reference the blueprints anymore that I don't need. So let me go back to the blueprints. Delete. Delete. Select all. Delete. Don't need hundreds of these blueprints anymore. In like my one video, I was about to do that. And as nothing's referencing it, so simply just delete. Actually, you want to delete these? Yes. And delete the folder. And these. Select all. Oh, these are not blueprints. Those are static meshes. Select all. Delete. just delete all these. Delete the folder itself. Textures. Alright, so we only need the one Cosmo card. We only need the one materials. So let me delete these ones first. Select all. Delete. Asset references, nothing, just delete it. Select all. Delete. Select all. Delete. I don't think anything is referencing these. Oh, maybe the cards themselves. Yeah, a bunch of things are references. Yeah, so I'll just leave it for now until I let me click on one of these and delete. See what it says. Click on this, delete. Nothing. Alright. But I don't need these. I just need them for this right now. They're just being used right here. Oh, no, these are the icons. And they're textures. Icon image. Card name, card face. Oh, okay, so if I test these right now, the card faces will not be there. So let me go ahead and first of all, we open this up, refresh, and refresh. So the icons won't show up. Card edges won't show up. What is next after that? The protocols. Refresh. These. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Card face. Card back. Card edge. What? cyan edge. Yeah, these are just colors. Oh, but they have some special effects to them. So, alrighty then. I guess I keep them as a. So unfortunately, this has to change into a material interface. Soft object reference. Doesn't even need to be a soft object reference. It could just be a. Yeah. Just leave it soft object. Again. Refresh. 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 Connect. Compile. Save. Cyan edge. And we want that one. But all of this doesn't matter if we don't have the logic set up correctly. In here, let me delete that. I was using the game instance before, but don't need to do it now. Okay, so I think for now I'm done. Before I go into the actual, all of this stuff now. Because first I need to add all of these textures and stuff. And then I can come back and work on these. So this kind of stuff is just tedious work. I don't need to document all that. And yeah, so I changed this now. I don't know if I'm going to keep it this way because for the card back and the card edges, they're only either whatever the rarity says. So instead of card back and card edge, I will change it to card face rare, card face epic, and card face legendary. Don't know if I should have the names that long. It's going to show up on like nodes with very long names. Card's name and crash. Alright. Now I gotta wait for it to reload. But actually, no. Again, that's not part that I wanted to work out. I really just wanted to prepare the textures, which I did, converted them to power of textures, power of 2 textures, and uploaded them into the Unreal Engine. And then that was it. I just started deleting stuff that I don't need anymore now that I'm switching to this new, more, supposed to be more efficient, more optimized system rather than the one that I already had. And so I am pretty much done. After I delete all of that stuff and upload or enter the data of each of those textures that I turned into Power of 2 into the data table, the card data table, Then I can start working on the logic again, the blueprints, because again, we only need the one blueprint, master blueprint for the cosmic card, and the one master material. And then we can finally work on the blueprint logic. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully what I'll document next time. But other than that, if you're here and you watched, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.